All right, guys, welcome to Extreme Airsoft TV's next installment of our 6-year-strong birthday bash. I've got this dude here, Mr. Mako TV himself, Bobby Kilroy. And Bobby, is it true that this is also your first time up in Rhode Island?
This is my first time on the East Coast if you don't count South Carolina.
No one counts South Carolina.
Okay, so yeah, it's my first time up here, Rhode Island, this area, this far northeast. So yeah, first time.
So I mean, where specifically are you from, and how much different is it up here than where you're used to?
Well, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. So if you really want to know more specific, it's Kearney, Missouri, which is itty bitty. It's probably 15,000 people live there. So tiny town.
Welcome to the cramped up Northeast.
Right? Like the states are so small and there's so many up there. Like it's so weird. Anyway, yeah, it's quite a bit different. I mean, you guys are very organized. I mean, we have some fields in the Kansas City area that are indoor CQB, but they're a little more laxed. You know, we don't require barrel covers, and we kind of, I don't know, it's different up there. It's a lot more laid back, a lot more natural, homegrown kind of thing, I guess.
There's a huge trust factor there. I got to say that. I mean, we try to keep a tight leash on everybody because I mean, our number one thing here is safety when it comes to everything. Because I mean, it only takes one bad accident, and that's what these guys have been. I mean, my bosses, the owners, have been preaching since day one. It's safety, 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 because you can have fun while you're still being safe. So I mean, so safety rules a little relaxed aside. I mean, and what was your first impression when you walked in the door versus what your expectation was? I mean, you say you came from some CQB fields down there that were a little more relaxed. So, I mean, lay it on us. Be honest. Like, what did you expect to see walking in the doors of this place in this tiny little state that you've never been to, that's probably the size of a county in your state, and having a pre-established idea of what you've seen CQB as versus what you saw when you walked in?
Well, I haven't been on the field yet, but so far in here, it's beyond what I expected. Not to, put down that Rhode Island can't do airsoft, but more of I really didn't know what to expect. I walked in, the showroom floor is awesome, very well organized, easy flow. You've got your registration area, all nice and neat, apart from the actual pro shop area. You've got your check-in over here. You've got your chrono, I assume, is that direction? Is that chrono?
Chrono's right at the beginning of the field.
Is it? All right. So yeah, I haven't even seen chrono yet because, like I said, I haven't played yet. But yeah, like the expectation is far above what what I've seen is far above the expectation.
We might have to do a little comeback after he plays around. We might tack that on the end. So I mean. And you're sponsored by Elite Force, and you run Mako TV, Airsoft News, and other fun stuff. You also have a facility out your way. Now, I mean, coming here, like, when you see a lot of places around the country, you see certain distributors are dominant in that area, and other ones kind of shy away. I mean, what do you think about the more diverse nature, like what it is up here? I mean, we've got 4 extremely good distributors and product companies actually in attendance, but I mean, as you can see, there's probably about 25 to 30 different companies represented here up in this region. I mean, is that something that's commonplace, or is it usually more single, double distributor oriented wares at places that you see?
Well, up in Kansas City area, it's very much Elite Force prominent. Crytek's slowly starting to make an appearance. Polar Stars are starting to run around too. Polar Star is way over the V12s at the moment. Like, you don't see very many V12s. You see a lot of Polar Star engines. Titman's minuscule up north, or up where I'm at. Adele is pretty much the only one that I've seen run a Titman arms up there. So, yeah, KC's not very diverse for the most part. I mean, there's a little bit of sprinkle in of other people, but it's prominently Elite Force. Now, if you go to Georgia, like SS Airsoft, they've got everything. They're huge out there. So it kind of depends on the region you go to. I've been up to Seattle to play Airsoft, Seattle, Washington, and they've got they were pretty much G&G, ICS, like the entry level stuff. It was a very small field. It was maybe 5,000 square feet.
Wow.
So they had a lot of entry level stuff, you know, $100 tops spending on stuff. Yeah. Now their field fees were I don't know. I'd say they're on average, you know, $35 for the day, $45 with a rental gun. You know, it varies obviously.
All right, so I mean, I feel pretty good hearing that. And we got a pretty fair amount of diversification, and that's one thing I've noticed. Like hearing about like talking to the reps from your sponsoring company, they don't see a lot of diversity in certain regions, but up here, I'm seeing, especially here, there's probably, with no exaggeration, there's probably about 350 people here right now playing, and there's Polar Stars everywhere because it's the Northeast. I mean, it's Delaware. It's back. It's hey neighbor, here's a Polar Star.
Well, it's a funny thing. You guys had opened your doors maybe 30 minutes, maybe 45, and I had walked up to your guy sitting dividing teams, and I asked him, was like, so how many so far? He goes, 100. You know, in no time flat, you had 100 people already processed in. And that was crazy, and it wasn't as congested as you would think it would be either. You know, the line seems to move pretty fast. From what I saw, you had at least 3 lines set up, so you could come in and get your different passes and whatever. But it moved really smooth.
Yeah. So I mean, how does this? I guess the end-all question, which we will revisit this, and we're gonna have a part 2 of this, probably in the same video. He's gonna be a lot sweatier and probably still wearing his gear to get the gameplay portion down because I want to know his feelings on the field. But so far, from what you've seen, how does this stack up to indoor places that you've been to around the country? Just on a rating scale, kind of on the higher end versus mid, or where do you see? Be brutally honest with us, because we take everything into consideration. Our suggestion box is always full when it comes to lighting on the field, buildings, paint jobs, everything. We take everything into consideration, so brutal honesty is always welcome.
All right. Well, like I said, I haven't been on the field, so I guess stay tuned for that part 2. The pro shop's clean, organized, everything's easy to find. I would rate that top tier, in my opinion, from other pro shops I've seen. The staging area, I guess is what you would call it. Yep. Organized, plenty of tables, plenty of room to move around, gear up, kit up. You've got vending machines, like everything's easy to find in the staging area. You've got a door in between the two, so you got that safety buffer, so you're not catching people screwing around and messing with the people in the pro shop. So I'd rate that up in the top as well. It's probably the cleanest indoor staging area I've seen, just because the tables look great. Like I've never seen staging tables so clean.
For a side note, no, we vacuum the carpet on the table pretty much every night. That's always cleaned and vacuumed.
It's very clean. So, but yeah, like staging area, top notch. The vendor area, it's been clean as well. I hear you're putting in a range out there, or?
But yeah, I mean, that's great to hear, and we'll be back shortly after these messages, and this guy's gonna hopefully get out there and sling some plastic for a round, and then let us know what he thinks about the field. All right, man. See you back. And we're back for part 2, Mr. Kilroy from Mako TV. Finally getting a chance to go out and sling some plastic on the field. And let's hear it. What's your evaluation of the field?
It's hot. No, seriously. It's a lot of fun. Super fast pace. Lots of just running ahead, taking bunkers, just shooting and hoping you make it. Really fast pace. Speedball CQB, like, nailed it.
And that's all we want to hear. So, I mean, what do you think you get to check out? You got to check out a lot of like the structures. I mean, so how does like the detailing and the craftsmanship go in there? Because, I mean, like I tell the other guys in some of the interviews, this place is run by four guys. Four people who have extremely different backgrounds. One's in the entertainment industry, one's in law enforcement, one's in construction. And I mean, together they put together some cool ideas, and they didn't want this to just be plywood and tires. And so, I mean, like, what'd you think about the little town feel?
I think the way you guys did it, like cosmetically, it really makes the field unique. 'Cause if you just had plywood buildings and stuff like that, it wouldn't stand out. There's nothing to pop. It wouldn't be unique. But you've got half cars in garages. You've got other halves of cars in other places. You've got buildings and hallways and bunkers and barricades and bookshelves and just shelves. Like, it's a good plethora of everything. Good cover, good movement. I haven't experienced the
Far side?
huh?
Far side?
Yeah, like I'm turned around here. Like I started at the far side, so I haven't experienced from this angle, but from that angle, it was a lot of fun. It was, like I said, fast paced. Go back, respawn, wait your 60 seconds, run back in. I mean, it was semi and full auto. Depends on the game type, I guess. So we were full auto in our game and took some hits, killed some people, but other than that, it was a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. Thanks for thanks for the evaluation. Hey, anytime, man. Hopefully we'll see you next year for year 7.
Year 7, let's do it.
All right, so Mako TV and Hammer signing off. We'll see you guys later.